with our blood pressure until it's too late. So we are going to just make you aware of how big and how widespread this problem is by showing you a pretty ridiculous statistic, okay? We have about 75 million American adults that have high blood pressure. That's 1 in every 3 adults. Only about 52% of people with high blood pressure actually have their condition under control, which is crazy to think about, right? Nearly 1 of 3 American adults has pre-hypertension, which is blood pressure numbers that are higher than normal, but not yet in the blood pressure range. So they're on their way. High blood pressure costs the nation $46 billion a year, including the cost of healthcare services, medications, and then you have missed days of work. And a lot of times you're not even aware of the problem. So we're gonna help you be aware of it every single day, because we have from Veridian the Health SmartHeart wrist digital blood pressure monitor. And joining me right now is a gentleman called Matt Peters. Matt is a registered nurse, and we are so happy to have you here. You know how much I believe in this. I have, my father has high blood pressure. My best, 2, 3 of my best friends have high blood pressure, and they didn't know it until it was almost too late.
You know what those statistics tell me? Think about it at home. You know, whether it's you yourself, a loved one who's had a heart attack or a stroke, you've spent the night in a hospital worrying about your loved one or yourself, you spend money on medications, lost work, things like that. Don't have your head in the sand, please. As a registered nurse, I love the opportunity to be able to talk about this with you. It's about taking power over your health. And what Veridian has done here is really magical to me. They've packed what I usually see in more pricey models of blood pressure monitors for your wrist, for home use, into this package, and you have a lot of features here that usually you see on some of the pricier models. So what I want to do really quickly is, Jen over here is taking her blood pressure, okay? And she's taking her blood pressure over and over again. And as you can see, this wrist monitor snugly fits on her wrist. It has a latex-free cuff. So in case you have any sort of sensitivity to latex, you don't need to worry about that. And what Jen has here is what I like to call that nice little triangle. So she has her monitor here, so it's not fighting against gravity. It's right at heart level. In only about 25 or 30 seconds, and she's taking her blood pressure with a smile, which it's hard for me to do that, but in only about 25 or 30 seconds, you're gonna get a clinically accurate reading. So right here we have 147, that's her systolic blood pressure, over 93, that's diastolic. Now here's what I'm talking about with features. This right here, this color-coded bar, is a hypertension indicator. That translates this reading for you. So what does 147 over 93 mean? I don't know. If you're saying that at home, it's a little high, it's in the red. Jen has been admittedly running around here in the studio. She's very busy, so that's normal. The point is, blood pressure changes second by second. So here's the teachable moment. You ideally want to be sitting for about 10 minutes in a rested position and take a nice relaxed resting blood pressure. And if you've ever had a monitor at home, or you've heard other folks say things like, you know what, this monitor doesn't give me the same reading that I got in my doctor's office. That's normal, because your blood pressure is going to change second by second. And if you're not taking it in the right way, like Jen is here, then a lot of times you'll get a little bit of a different reading. And by the way, Alice, this is going to keep up to 60 readings in memory, so that you can actually take 2 months of readings right to your doctor. So if there's any alarm bells, anything going on personally, and you feel like you need to be checked out, you can bring that information right to your doctor, and we can get ahead of this issue instead of being one of those statistics. One of those statistics that are happening more and more. These statistics are crazy when you look at the numbers. You need to be proactive. It's just that simple. It doesn't even matter your age. I had a girlfriend whose son, a 16-year-old son, was having blood pressure problems. And he went into the doctor and he couldn't get an accurate reading because he was too nervous. You have to,
preferable to be able to do it at home when you're relaxed. This is going to give you that tool at $19.95. This is the lowest price I have ever seen us offer a blood pressure monitor for. $19.95. We have it, not only that, we have it on 2 flex payments. This is so important. It is just so important. I am surrounded by people who have blood pressure problems, surrounded. And you know what? I watch them all day trying to take their blood pressure with these things that they wrap around their the upper arms and this and that. They can never get it on right. It's so difficult to read. This is simple, Matt. This is easy. But the most important thing is the information you give to your doctor is the pattern that they need to see. They don't need one reading or 2 readings. They need the pattern, right?
Right, absolutely. They need the pattern. And you see that reading there with Jen, okay? You're going to have that time and date stamped as well. This is also going to be able to detect an irregular heartbeat if you have that. So if that is a common theme with you, or if it's something you or your medical provider is concerned about, it's going to be able to detect that as well. Now, it's important to know, you know, white coat syndrome, when you go to the doctor, you might have a high reading just because you're nervous, and that's normal. Or if you're taking blood pressure medication or things like that, one other thing you need to do, even if you don't take medication, you need to check your blood pressure because it's so prevalent that people have high blood pressure. But a lot of times if you have medication for blood pressure, you can't get out of your own way, you're sluggish, you're constantly in that cycle of over or under medicating. Simply by knowing what's going on inside you and having this type of history to bring to your doctor, a lot of times he or she can use that information to help you with your medication so that maybe your dosage can be corrected just to improve your overall quality of life. And that's what this is really about. It's preventing the catastrophe, but it's helping you with your quality of life too.
Listen, we only have 2,000 of these remaining. This is it. I've never seen us do a price like this. At $19.95, this could be the most important gift you give for your Father's Day, for any day. This is just something you have to have. You have to be proactive. There's nobody out there now taking your blood pressure every other day unless you're doing it for yourself. It is so important. I had a girlfriend who came to see me. I looked at her, I said, you have swollen ankles. That can be a sign of high blood pressure. She didn't get it checked. She said, I don't get it checked. I never did. Went in a year later. She got her blood pressure checked at the doctor. They said, you're going straight to the hospital. She goes, your blood pressure is so off the charts. Please do this. This is so simple. We have 2 flex payments. If you have the HSN card, you can get 3 flex payments. But it's a $20 bill. Buy it for the people you care about. How accurate is this, Matt? It's
clinically accurate. So that means that you're going to get an accurate reading that you can trust. Your medical providers can trust that as well. Clinically accurate. Really important to mention too, you talk about having your head in the sand. For me, the wake-up call was my mom. She had a heart attack years back, and the takeaway from that from her doctor was, Dorothy, you really need to know what your blood pressure is on a daily basis, and most of the time twice a day, okay? And she's okay now, but the takeaway was you need to know what's going on inside your body. Just, you know, I will say this too. We have stubborn loved ones. We have people that don't take care of themselves like they take care of others. If you know these folks, get this home. Give them the power of just knowing what's going on, because what I want is to help you prevent some of these worst case scenarios.
Absolutely. This is such a simple thing for you to do, and it gives you such tremendous knowledge. Once again, I mean, how many people, you know, with blood pressure problems in this country?
It's 150 million, and half of those folks don't even know. So a lot of times there's no signs and symptoms, folks, so please know what's going on, okay?
Well, listen, very busy now. Please use express ordering, hsn.com. Thank you so much, Matt.
You're welcome.
The accuracy of this, the ease of use, and the price today at $19.95 makes that an absolute